Are you worried that your employer might be trying to push you out of the company? In this video, we'll go over some signs to look out for if you think you might be in this situation. It's important to be aware of these warning signs so that you can take action and start updating your resume if necessary. By the way, if you enjoy this type of content, don't forget to hit that subscribe button to stay up to date with our latest videos on employment and careers. In the world of HR, there's a concept known as constructive dismissal. What does that mean exactly? Essentially, it refers to a situation where your employer creates working conditions that are so intolerable that you feel compelled to resign. There are a number of reasons why a company might engage in this behavior. For example, they may see you as a liability and want to avoid terminating you due to potential legal or HR complications. Alternatively, they may be trying to avoid paying out certain benefits, such as unemployment insurance, which they would be obligated to do if they terminated your employment. The first thing to watch out for is the absence of a raise for several years, especially when you know that others in your department or company have received one. This is a clear red flag. If your company has cut you off from future raises, particularly when others are receiving them, it's probably time to update your resume. Another sign to look for is if you have been repeatedly passed over for a promotion. Although there are many factors that companies consider in promoting an employee, if you have expressed your interest and have worked hard to position yourself for a promotion, yet you are consistently overlooked for someone who may be less qualified, then it's a cause for concern. This is because when a company decides to promote someone else, there is usually a discussion about the potential fallout. You might need to do damage control if someone feels they have been unfairly passed over. Besides, if you keep getting passed over for a promotion, it's probably not an opportunity you want to stick with anyway. Remember, it's important to act like a free agent and make the best decisions for your career. So if you're being continually blocked, update your resume, start working on your network, and start exploring the job market. One thing to keep an eye out for is whether your PTO or vacation requests are repeatedly denied, even if you've made sure to coordinate with your colleagues and aren't abusing the system. This is a strong indicator that your employer doesn't value you and wants to make things difficult for you. If you take the time off anyway, you may find yourself facing another warning sign: being placed on a performance improvement plan or some other type of performance management tool. However, it's important to note that being put on a PIP doesn't automatically mean that you're being forced out of the company. In some cases, managers might actually be happy if you achieve the goals laid out in the plan. But if the goals seem unrealistic and not based in reality, that's a strong indication that the company is trying to manage you out of the business or subtly pushing you to leave on your own. Keep this in mind and be prepared to update your resume and start networking if you see these signs. If you notice sudden changes to your schedule, such as mandatory overtime during times you've made it clear you're unavailable or an unreasonable workload, this could be a sign that you're being managed out of the business. On the other hand, your hours could be cut down to the bare minimum, which may even impact your benefits eligibility. This can be especially harmful for those who are paid hourly or by the shift, and could prompt them to start looking for a new job. Companies may use these tactics to subtly encourage you to leave, but it's important to remember that you have options and can always choose to take your skills and experience elsewhere. Next off, lackluster performance appraisals is something you should look out for too. This is especially concerning if you have a history of receiving positive feedback and suddenly your boss is acting overly critical about things they used to praise you for. Performance appraisals are an important part of the HR department's formal documentation process, and if you're considered a performance issue, your boss will actively engage with managing and monitoring your performance. Being constantly criticized, whether right or wrong, can be demotivating and potentially drive you to leave. Another major red flag is when your boss stops communicating with you. If they're not showing up to your weekly one-on-one meetings or rescheduling them last minute, not prioritizing your needs, or not responding to emails in a timely manner, it could indicate that they're disengaging from you. They may always appear busy or keep their office door closed to you, and they may not provide you with the information or support you need to overcome roadblocks. The final warning sign we want to discuss is if you're suddenly excluded from work you typically do. For example, a project you were leading could be handed over to someone else. You might stop receiving invitations to staff meetings, or you may not be privy to water cooler talk anymore. Additionally, you might even be ignored when you see your boss with other people in public. It's important to note that this is not an exhaustive list. If you notice one or two of these things, it doesn't necessarily mean you're being quietly fired, but you should start paying attention and trust your instincts. If you believe the company is constructively discharging you, or preparing to do so, you do have options. You can continue the status quo and let the company terminate you if that's their intention. Alternatively, you could quit and find a better workplace that supports you, taking the acting like a free agent approach. Staying in a toxic work environment that's detrimental to your personal life, mental health, and career growth isn't worth it. Finally, if you believe you're being discriminated against, it's wise to seek the advice of a local attorney who can help you navigate the local laws. So there you have it. Those are the things you should look out for if you suspect the company is quietly firing you. It's always best to have your resume up to date and ready to go so you're not scrambling when you need it. If you need help with your resume, check out our video on The Ugly Truth About Your Resume for practical insights on updating it. We hope you're not experiencing any of these signs and that everything is going well for you. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.